Ladies and gentlemen, 30 to 40 years ago, I was a Reagan Democrat. I actually, in Hanover County, at the age of 29, ran against Delegate Frank Hargrove as a Democrat. You can imagine how that worked out. But what he forgets to tell you is that Delegate Hargrove took me to lunch the following week and said this: Dwayne, you're not a national Democrat, you're a West Virginia Democrat. 30 years ago, I was also a Democrat until Goldwater came out. You're as much as a Republican as me. Delegate Frank Hargrove recruited me 30 years ago to the Republican Party. So if he wants to talk about it, he didn't tonight because he doesn't like to do it when I'm in the room, that I used to be a Democrat. I've always been a conservative. But for 30 years, I have been you'll get your chance. You get your chance. This is my turn. For 30 years, I've been a Republican. I've been an active member. And my conservative track record, over the last 5 years, you've ran for 5 different offices, did not stop him from calling and asking me for his endorsement. So you're being dishonest. You're lying about me. You know you're being dishonest. And at the end, you can wave your blue card when it's time for you to talk because you did not have the backbone to bring it up until I brought it up. So, you can boo all you want. You can boo all you want.
As I understand the rules, this is John's rebuttal. This does not count against his closing statement.
How much time do I have to rebuttal?
1 minute.
Okay, first of all, his words are not lining up to his actions. If you read the ERA, it says nothing about abortion. I was brand new. I found out there's something called a rhino. And a Republican woman, Roxanne Robbins, said, hey, you should put your initials on this. And I said, what is it? It says you support women. And of course I did. It said nothing about abortion. When I found out what it was, I said, take my name off it. What he fails to tell you, I'm not going to be a mudslinger and call him a liar, but I'll let the record tell you who's telling the truth. I've never voted for the ERA. I voted against it every time. And he did run as a Democrat 3 times, and he's trying to hide that. He ran in Senate District 10. And, talk is cheap. He's raised your taxes 40% in the last 4 years when people all over the Raise your hand if your taxes have gone up every year in the last 5 years.
My taxes went up, and I didn't know what to say.
All right, we have a rebuttal to the rebuttal with another minute for Supervisor Adams.
Well, there's a reason they don't have you on a budget committee because you can't do math. But do not, no. No. Somebody cannot come here and say your taxes went up 40%. Assessments.
Courtney Levitt yesterday. Didn't even live in this state. My church name was registered.
Okay, this is not a debate with the audience.
But the taxes
Assessments.
didn't go up. They didn't go up.
All right, let Dwayne, please.
As assessments have gone up, the Board of Supervisors last year gave $1.2 million in tax relief to the citizens. We live in a county where property is valued, where the houses are in limited supply. You want to look at inflation? Blame that on President Biden, where we have 8% inflation. We're getting ready to put a big package of tax relief again. So when you see assessments go up, total assessments did go up 40%, but also because you had 2,200 new builds in Louisa County last year. Some of that being commercial, some of it being things that increased the value of the assessments in this county by over $2 million in single projects. So you can twist the facts all you want. You can twist the facts all you want. You made a mistake on the ERA. That's a pretty big mistake. That's an amendment to the federal Constitution.
Not a vote, ladies and gentlemen.
You co-sponsored it. So you want to parse words? You parse words. You co-sponsored an amendment to the federal Constitution that would enshrine abortion into the Constitution.
He's got a blue
You had
card,
the
so
right
it's a
to lower the
minute.
rate,
Second.
and you never lowered the rate. You had the right to the ability to lower the rate.
That's for the next Board of Supervisors meeting.
Listen up. Remember I told you earlier, be very, very, very picky about who you elect. When their words aren't lining up with their actions, you got to be very careful. Here it is right here. It shows you every year, and he keeps calling everybody a liar, very rich for someone who's never served, calling somebody a coward and a liar. I'm not going to call him a coward or a liar. I'm just going to look at facts, because the truth is the light, and it will set you free. And then a few days ago, when he's saying he didn't raise your taxes, there was another thing in the mail with his name on it saying it's going up 14%. He thinks he's smarter than you with his slick words, but do your research. Every tax expert in the General Assembly did a study on him and gave me the report and showed me that is a tax increase 100% when other counties were lowering their taxes, giving people some tax relief. He failed to do so. And the tax relief that he did give you is nothing compared to what it would be to lower the rate. And there are people, and it's not, I get phone calls from retired people all over Louisiana County that say, I'm on a fixed income. I can barely make it. He could have given them a relief, but he didn't. But sure did support those people with the hotel, didn't he?
Okay, we're back to the closing statements portion of our forum with Sandy Brinkley. And just for the record, John's used both of his blue cards. Dwayne still has one. Sandy and Jack have two. That's right, Sandy has one.
Well, I want y'all to know that I'm a mom of 4. I'm a former public school teacher. I'm a retired businesswoman who has extensive experience being a liaison for over 30 years in my community, helping the organizations that I work with make good decisions that actually serve the people in the community. I've been ingrained in my communities. I've been in my classrooms been in the classroom with my kids as a volunteer, hearing what the teachers need, hearing what the parents' concerns are, hearing what the staff's concerns are. I've been working for nonprofit organizations, whether it be a women's shelter or a food pantry. I am ingrained in my community, and I make sure that I am working to help organizations serve the people so that their lives are better. And that's what legislators are supposed to do. But the main reason that I am in this race is because our schools are broken. And 10 years ago, I had a prominent Republican tell me when I asked them, what are we doing to target our teachers? And he said, that ship sailed, teachers are already all Democrats. I said, bad answer. It was a bad answer then, and it's a bad answer now. We have a situation where the Republicans have given up control of education policy to Democrats for far too long. And the reason that's happened is because we have never, that I can find, had a conservative educator in the state Senate. It's about time that we put one there. So that and that should be me. I hope that you understand how important this election is. If we do not save our schools and get the Marxist theology and indoctrination of our children stopped, our country is going to be at risk.
Right.
So this is a very important choice for you to make. You have a great selection, I think, and I may be a little biased because I'm included in that. But I do ask that you look. I am the only one on this stage that has a background in education. I'm the only one that has been a classroom teacher and understands the needs inside that school. I'm the only one that figured out how to break racial barriers without ever using the principles of CRT. I used the lens of the U.S. Constitution. I am the one that has the experience that we need in this moment. And yes, experience matters.